Hello.
Hello, Danny. How are you?
Hi there. I'm good. Thank you. Thank you for joining us on the podcast. Tell me your name and where you're calling us from.
I'm Sam, and I'm calling from Bangalore.
Hi, Sam. Nice to meet you. Did you have a good day?
Yes, it was a wonderful day.
Awesome. Then it's time for some bitching. So tell me, what would you like to bitch about?
Okay, so at first I wanted to tell you that it's very hard for me to come up with that, coming out and saying something which is
Mm-hmm.
very personal. So
Okay.
I want to bitch about my ex-husband who
Mm-hmm.
eloped with my maid, left me and my two kids. It will happen after 14 years of our wedding. And
Whoa.
Yeah, and it was on my 36th of birthday.
On your wait, hang on a second. Hang on a second. Let me see
Yeah.
if I got this right. Your
Hmm.
husband of 14 years
Yeah.
left you and your two kids on your 36th birthday
Yeah.
for your maid.
Yeah, with my mate. Yes. And moreover,
Wow.
he was 41 at that time, and the maid was 22. So you can.
Whoa. Okay, one sec. I have to ask. I have to ask.
Uh,
How hot was this maid?
oh, she was super hot.
Really?
Yeah.
So, I like that you're honest enough to be like, yeah, bro, the hotter
Uh,
woman won. Like,
yeah.
damn, this has to be, Sam, this has to be the wildest episode, not just on this podcast, but on the history of all podcasts. I do not think there has been a discussion like this on any podcast before. My goodness, I am honored. Oh
Yes,
man, this is very juicy. This is very juicy. Okay, so let's dig in a little bit, right? Let's start with the
okay.
appetizer. So tell me
Okay.
about the love story between you and your ex husband. And was it your how
Uh,
did you guys meet? How did this all begin?
No, it was all arranged. It was arranged by my parents, and I was 22
Okay,
then. And I got
okay,
married when I was 22 after finishing my college. I
right,
was
right.
right off, I got married, and I was virgin then, and I met him, and we got
So you were
married in 6 months.
22 when you got
Yeah,
married to
yeah,
him.
yeah,
So
yes.
clearly he has a thing for 22-year-olds.
Oh my God, I
See,
never thought
that
about
was
it.
the first red flag. That was the
Oh
first red
yeah.
flag. Yes, see, the patterns are being established. He
Oh
has a
my
thing for
God.
22-year-olds,
Oh my God. Until
right?
you did say that, I was not realized
And then
it,
it
but
was an
yes,
arranged marriage, and Seema auntie approved of the marriage, right?
it was SEMA entry approval. Yeah.
Yeah.
All cast
So
approved.
basically,
Yes.
yeah. So basically, you already got about like 60 to 70% already. So
Yes.
great. So it was an arranged marriage. You were 22, right? And fresh out of the oven, and you stepped into
Yeah.
this world with him.
Yeah.
You got married, and then the
Yeah.
two of you, after a while, went, you know what? This planet needs more of people.
Hmm.
So you then proceeded to make two, right?
Yeah. Yeah.
And now
Yeah.
you're a nice family of four.
Four. Yeah.
Things
Yeah.
are going well, and then you think, hang on, we're doing well now, and we need some domestic help to, kind of like keep things in order at home, keep
Yes.
everything nice and clean. And that's when you hired uh, your domestic help.
Exactly. Exactly, Daniel. So
Like, I want to give
we.
her a name. Like, she's such an interesting character in this story. I
Yeah.
want to give her
Yeah.
a name, but obviously we won't use her real name. So if what should we call this
Okay.
character?
So actually, her real name was something different, and she came to me with the fake name, which was she told me she is Emily. Her name is Emily, and I thought her name is
Okay.
Emily actually. So this happened in
Okay.
Singapore, not in India.
Oh, so you guys
So
were you guys were in Singapore. Okay.
yes, so we moved from
Right.
Canada to Singapore, and when we
Okay.
are in Canada, we have to do everything. But when
Right.
we moved to Singapore, we got to know that there's a luxury of hiring and stay home
Right.
maid. So
And
we
that's the funny
approached her.
thing about
Mm.
that's the funny
Mm-hmm.
thing about first world countries, right? You move there
Mm-hmm.
thinking, oh my god, life is going to be so much better, and obviously it's a first world country, you have certain expectations, and then you
Exactly.
get there and realize that you have to do every single thing by yourself because manual
Very
labor
true.
is very expensive over
Exactly.
there. And then you are like, hang on a second, I used to
Mm-hmm.
have a first world existence in India.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Because
Yeah.
everybody has some sort of staff, either one domestic help or two or three. There's always somebody to do these things for you when you're in India. Then you move to a first world country, and then you
Exactly.
are the domestic help.
Exactly. From cleaning the
You
washroom
know what
to
I mean?
cooking,
Yeah.
everything.
Every single
Yes.
thing you got to take care
Every
of
single
yourself.
thing.
And then you, okay, cool, great. So you were in Canada, then you guys moved to Singapore.
Yes.
And in Singapore, that's when Emily enters the picture.
Yes. So we approached a maid agency, and when she showed me her picture, she was all tooth black, messy hair. She gave me all the poor look, I pity her, and I was like, okay, this is the girl. She need help. I mean, I also need help.
So
We
I,
will help each other.
so
Yeah.
so in retrospect, do you think that Emily was conning you the whole time?
Oh yeah, she was a very big con artist, so she's going on right now too.
Right. Okay. So right. So where is Emily from? So if you're in Singapore, where is Emily from?
She is so we went to Indian uh, maid agency, and she's from Mizoram.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah,
So she's
yeah.
Indian
So
as
there's
well.
she is Indian as well, and she is very actually very less affordable. So we were hardly giving her $500 per month for doing all the job.
Okay.
So
So was
8 hours a
that
day.
a good deal? Was she getting a good deal financially?
Yeah, for her it was a good deal. You
No, but
know,
was it on par with like every other domestic help salary?
yes. No, the beginners they get the same
So basically, it was an industry standard what she was getting.
what she was getting, and it was like, yeah, first time
Yes.
job
So
for
it
her. And
wasn't like
okay.
right. So it wasn't like she was getting paid less and then she felt the need to take more. You know what I mean? Like sometimes you feel, right? Like when you're working a job and you're just like, you know what, my salary does not justify my skill and experience. So you start taking stuff from the office. You know what
But
I
I
mean?
don't
There's just
think.
little things from here and there that you think, yeah, the office will not notice that the
Yeah.
printer is missing. All right,
But
cool.
here the
So
whole husband.
Emily is in the picture. Sorry,
Yeah.
go on, go on.
No, I'm saying here the whole husband was missing, not only the printer.
Exactly, exactly. Your husband was the metaphorical printer in this story. Yeah. So I go. So now Emily is in the picture. How old are your kids at this age?
One was 4, one was 9,
All right. So cool.
one
So
was 8 actually.
they
Yeah.
right. So they are like, okay, cool. Yeah, would they refer to her or think of her as a nanny? Maybe.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. They referred as a nanny.
Maybe, right? Okay, so two kids, a husband and a wife, and a 22-year-old nanny. Yeah,
Nanny.
lot of young boys
Mhm.
are like, yeah, I've seen this story before on some websites
Oh, oh, my husband for
that are
14
blocked
years.
in India. Oh my god. This has to be a category on Pornhub somewhere. I'm sorry, there has to be a category on Pornhub somewhere. So great. So she moves in, and was she a full time
Yeah,
nanny?
she used to stay with us only. Yeah, full time.
And you hired her primarily to look after the kids or the house or both?
Everything, everything. It's 8 hour job. She has to
Okay,
do
she is
everything.
8 hour
Yeah.
shift, everything great, great. So she moves in. How are things when she starts off? Like, like,
So
is she good at her job? Is she making an impression?
yeah, on December she joined, and she was good in the beginning. But again in 15 days, like she joined for December 1st. 15 days, there was some parts that started me a little pissed off. Like so one day
Right.
she was. So what happened was my room, her room, and then the kids' room. So my
Okay. When you say
husband,
your room, your husband and you.
yeah, our room, yeah.
Okay.
So my husband used to get up in the at 6 a.m. and then come and went to work. So one, and I used to sleep by till 10, 11, and my work was started after 12. So
Right.
one morning I wake up early and I was just crossing by, and then I seen her naked in her room.
You
When
saw
she was changing, she was
15 days?
changing,
That's all it took
15
for
days.
her to.
She was
That's within the
changing.
trial period, right? She's showing you the full product within the trial period. I mean, that's good customer service. I'm so-
So,
I'm sorry. I'm sorry. Like, but okay, so hang on. So 15 days in, you're passing by her room and she's naked, as in like,
changing her clothes.
tada, naked, or she's changing with the door
She
wide
was
open.
changing. She was changing, door wide open, and she knows that my husband used to pass
Damn.
at that time, though, so it was all planned.
Damn. Yeah. So you're saying this service that you hired her from, they only operate in Singapore?
They only operate in Singapore. Yeah.
You know what? I'm,
I'm
I'm
not
asking
sure.
I'm asking on behalf of the fans. I'm just saying I'm sure one or two of them must be thinking it, right? They've just moved into a new apartment or they just gotten married
I
recently and
got
they need help. And
that.
you know, it's so hard to find a reliable domestic help service these days. You can't trust your neighbors when they give you a recommendation. So just for them I'm asking,
I got
if this
it.
service also. So okay,
And
so did she see you when you noticed her? Did she know that you noticed that?
yeah, I think so. Then I have scolded her. I told her called her agency. They have called her and then they give her some advices how to properly
So
maintain
what
that.
was the
And
justification? What like I just want to know like what did she say when you confronted her?
no, so she was acted like she don't understand. She can't speak English or any other language, but other times she used to
Uh
talk.
huh.
When I ask you and I confront you and scold her, then, she was
Right.
pretended that she don't not able to understand any of the thing
She's
about
like
it.
no habla English.
Blah blah blah.
Damn. So then she okay. So then she got a warning. She's like, hey, hang on a second. If you're changing your clothes, please make sure the door is shut
Yes, yes,
and
exactly.
conduct yourself properly, right? So okay, so that was the first red flag. That was like, whoa, okay. And then what happened after that? Like, what did you
Then
start noticing was off?
so 1st January, so we went for picnic, me, my husband, kids, and her. She's supposed to take care of the babysit the kids when we were do biking or other stuff, sailing or something. So
Right.
suddenly, both were my husband and the maid was missing, and I was babysitting my kids. I mean, I was playing her role and she was playing my role.
So hang on.
So
While you were away on this is a
yeah,
picnic. It's a picnic, right? You said.
yes, yes, yes.
So you're on a picnic, and she and your husband went missing for a certain amount of time.
She and my husband was missing. Yeah.
She and your husband went missing, and then like, did they tell you where they were going, or
No, no, they didn't.
was she looking for another changing room? Did she need to change her clothes for some reason? They just disappeared.
They just disappeared. Yeah.
Okay, and how long were they gone?
Long for one and a half hour.
1.5 hour.
Yeah.
Man, your husband, ex-husband, had some mad stamina. 1.5 hour while your wife and kids are at the same outing as you. Like this guy,
This
this guy's a stud, dude. Like, what does he eat for breakfast? Horses.
yeah,
What is he
cow
eating?
milk.
Like horse meat every morning. All right, so they come back
Trust
after
me, it's
90 minutes,
not.
and what then?
Trust me, we were married for 14 years. It's nothing. It's not.
So it
I mean, it was
wasn't like,
not
so
like
how
that.
long
It was like
how long did he usually last on average?
maybe 3 minutes, 4 minutes.
3 minutes.
Yeah,
Holy shit.
as
So
exhaustion.
three minutes of sex and then 87 minutes spent just talking about their feelings. That's what they did. They were talking about their feelings.
Maybe.
Sam.
Yeah.
God
So
damn, 90 minutes. Okay, so they come back. So they come back and then what happens?
then I confronted him. I told him, and he was saying just he went, and then since I was busy with kids, that they make me happy, so he went with her for biking or some stuff. So I understood. I
Biking,
was
that's what they were calling
yeah.
it. Right.
Yeah.
So, did you believe that they just went biking, or like did you start like suspecting like something's up?
So I was having my doubts, but yeah, at the same time, since it was long time I was living with this man, and he was nowhere near. I mean, he was very faithful. He was honest. He was fun. He loved his family. He was protector, provider, everything. So, uh, so I have given him a benefit of doubt, but still, I got some,
So
these things.
your suspicion started building
But bidding from that first of Jan.
from that. But then obviously it's so hard to find a reliable domestic help. So then you're just
Uh,
like, who's going to look for a maid again and all that. So let's see what
no,
happens.
ac no, that's not the reason. I mean, I've told him to, lay off him. But see, what happened in Singapore is just the person who hired him because he was the sponsor for her visa to come to
Right.
Singapore. He has only authorized to fire her. I can't. I can't. I don't have authorized to fire her.
Hang on. So yes, who's this person who has authority? Your husband or
So he was the hiring person for her.
the husband?
Yeah, my husband who hired him, who had done
Right.
all
So
all the paperwork. So when he was
this
doing everything,
gets
yeah.
better and better. Like like usually, like usually, like in a relationship, if like a third person becomes an issue, like one of the other partner will be like, listen, stop talking to this person, block this person, whatever it is.
Uh,
And like here, you're just like, yeah, but I can't even send her back home because he's the guy who's paid for her to
paid
be
for her.
there.
Yes,
Yeah,
exactly.
like I think like every morning when he like woke up or went for a walk or whatever on his way to work, he probably listened to
Hmm.
like 50 Cent PIMP like on his headphones. Like no, that's the original soundtrack of his life at that time. That's
Yes,
wild.
yes.
Right. Okay, so then you let the first thing go. What then how did this all escalate?
So after day passes, I some other events are happening, some or other. I mean, my kids were used to. So they were. My son was 8, but he came up with saying that they always talk. They sit and talk. And one day I came back home early from work, and I was seeing them sitting very close to each other. So, but I don't have any solid proof, to
Right.
uh, accuse them. Uh,
Like she wasn't sitting on his lap basically. She was close, but
Very close. Yeah,
not
yeah, yeah.
very close, but not
Mm,
on the lap, right?
mm.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean that's fair. You
So,
can't like I mean you can't accuse somebody of infidelity just on the basis of that. I mean even though
exactly.
she took off her clothes and they disappeared for like 90 minutes, even though he lasts only three, but fair
Yeah,
enough, yeah.
yeah.
Right. So yeah. So then tell me more.
So, on 1st of Feb, I checked his phone. I needed proof when he was sleeping. I checked his phone, and then I went to their text and find out all the love letters, love stories, nudes
Okay.
sharing, and whatnot
In the same house.
in the same house. Yeah.
Right. So this was happening while she was off shift or like during shift?
During shift. I mean, she used to stay with us 24/7.
Oh, she was living with you 20. It wasn't like she did
Oh,
her
yeah.
8 hour shift and left.
And then
Right,
left.
right. So
No,
she's
no, no,
living
no.
with you in the same
Exactly.
house. They're texting,
Exactly. Yes.
sending nudes.
Yes.
Damn. Okay, so now clearly the cat is out of the bag, right? And
Yes.
also another thing, Sam, I really like about you is how you remembered the date of each incident. Like,
I oh no,
that's
because
wild. Like because they say right, women never forget. It's
yeah,
just
yeah. Maybe
they
I
all
forget
remember
the
shit. That's pretty
what
cool.
he told me, but the way he treated me was I was unbelievable. So yeah, first of
I
Feb,
mean, of
I
course, of course, he's an A-list piece of shit. I mean, there's no denying that. But it's
got it.
just you have to like. I really like that you're at a place where you can laugh at how absurd this story is.
Oh yeah, yeah.
You know what I
Thank
mean? Like,
you.
never in a million years would you imagine hearing something like this from even if you're talking to a
Exactly.
friend or just even if you overhear a conversation, no one's ever listening to
Mm-hmm.
something like this. So like, and I'm really glad that you're okay to laugh about it. That's pretty cool.
Yeah, yeah. It
So
took
like,
time,
yeah, so
but
now
yeah.
the cat's out of the bag. Yeah, the cat's out of the bag. You have the proof you need. All
So
hell's
I
about to break loose.
So he was sleeping. I woke him up and I started shouting, "What is that? What you did doing?" And he make the maid up. I was make a very big scene. I was shouting. So what she did is he hold my hand and she banged my head on the wall. So I got
What?
a very big bruise. Yeah, it was.
Okay, so
Yeah,
they turned on you. Basically, it then turned violent.
they were turned very violent. Yeah. So I was
Okay.
like fell down, crying, screaming, and then I
Oh
don't know if
damn.
I slept on the floor only. Next day I woke up.
Right.
I thought I will patch up with my husband and tell him that he's a catfish fishing you. I mean, she's want to take your money and was I tried to explain him, and then again he became very violent. He threw a very hot tea. He was drinking tea or coffee, I don't remember, but he threw on me the same thing.
Oh damn.
So now,
Damn.
yeah. So that time I told him that
S- s-
if you don't fire her, I will go same as it is to the cops and tell everything what you're doing right
Right.
now.
But first of all, I'm really sorry you had to go through all of that. I mean
Hmm.
I mean it's just making a bad situation far more worse. And I hope those wounds have healed. Are you over that? Have you dealt with it?
Yeah, definitely over that. Yes, I'm very in a
I
very good
mean,
place right now.
that's great to hear. That's great to hear. But again, I'm really sorry you had to go through something like that.
Uh,
Nobody should ever have to go through that. If anything, you had every right to fucking fling hot tea on both their faces, and you'd be totally justified to do it.
hmm. But I don't
You
know.
know what I
I
mean?
mean, whether I need to handle the situation in other way or what. I don't. I'm still thinking. Means maybe that wouldn't be happen to me. And when my kids were witnessing all this,
Are you talking about, like, in retrospect? Do you feel that you should have addressed this much sooner?
I should address this. No, in a different way. Maybe more calmly,
Okay.
without shouting. Maybe. I'm not sure.
So you're
Maybe.
regretful. You're regretful of all the drama and the chaos that your kids probably had to witness.
Yeah. They had to witness
Yeah.
everything.
But that kind of like, yeah, that kind of like tends to happen in situations like this where there's, like, domestic abuse. And because there isn't just one victim, there's almost never just one victim when there's a domestic
Hmm.
abuse situation. It's all the people who are connected with the primary victim. And if there are kids in the house, then yeah, that's pretty scarring for them to see. I hope they're doing all right.
Yeah. They forgot about it, and but they are also fine. But
They're fine.
again, at the same time, the person who never had raised voice in 14 years of unwedding, who never even thinking of even slapping or touching me in a
Right. Suddenly flips
very
a
rude
switch and
way.
he goes all psycho.
Exactly. I was just in a very confusing state. What's happened to this guy? He was very
Right.
idle.
It's pretty crazy, isn't it? How you think you know somebody, and you think that you probably know
Exactly.
them the as well as anyone could, be, and then suddenly you find out that they're a completely different person. You're like, yeah, it's damn wild. So then,
Exactly. I
did you
mean,
go to the cops?
14 year is not enough. No. So,
Yeah,
what he did
14 years is a very long
is
time, for
not
for sure, for sure.
not 14 years is not enough to knowing one person. That's what I was about to say.
That is true. Yeah, you never really know somebody. You never know. I think.
Yes.
I think all of us oscillate between who we really are and who we need to be. You know what I mean? In the sense that I don't think any single person can ever reveal their true selves to the world, or ever will, because it's just how flawed we are. But just that sometimes when people do reveal their true selves, it becomes this very violent and
Mm-hmm.
chaotic space. And then that's when you need to be like, out you go. You know?
Mm-hmm.
So did you go to the cops?
Okay. No, not yet. I so he agreed. He dropped. He said he's dropping the girl to the agency, giving me back. So he left and
Okay.
take her, and then came
Right.
back and told me that he has she's left now. See, he grabbed my feet and asked for my forgiveness and told me that he become wild. He don't know what happened to him, and it was all mistake and it's done now. Just let's restart our life again. So
Right.
and I believed him. I believed him and trusted him, and again was back to normal. It was busy with working. Everything was normal. Uh, three,
So
four days
when you say
passed.
everything was normal, which means that when there was tea in the house, he was only drinking it and not flinging it around on anybody.
Yeah, maybe.
Yeah. So like he's got suddenly switched back to his old self.
Old self, exactly. Yes. So 4 days.
Man, this is a
So
case
fifth was
study in psychology.
yes, yes. On fifth was my birthday, and he threw a very big party. He took me a very
Right.
fancy restaurant. We went, we had dinner.
Uh huh.
It was my 36th birthday. We came back, and then I was started watching in the Netflix. There was Titanic was coming, so
Right.
I was watching Titanic, and he went for sleeping. Kids went to sleep. So suddenly I got a text that is saying that he was so ashamed of himself that he can't face me and he's leaving me at night.
So what's it? He broke up with you over text?
Yeah. He's leaving me, and he
He
said that he will come back when I will forgive him. Um, from heart, from heart.
wait. He turned your birthday party into a divorce reveal.
Yes, yes.
And
He's
that too over
truly
text. So
leaving.
he throws you this party, you'll have a great time, you come back home and then but you came back home, right?
Yes, yes.
And then did he like sneak out while you were watching the
Oh,
Titanic?
yeah, exactly. I didn't realize when he sneaked out with his backpack.
So he snuck out while you were watching Titanic, then sends you a text message saying that he's leaving you because he doesn't feel like you've truly forgiven him from your heart
Exactly,
and
exactly.
that he feels horrible about what he did. So basically, the Titanic and your marriage both ran into an iceberg. An iceberg called Emily.
Yes, yes.
Dude, that's and then he just fucked off.
Yeah.
Okay, and then like did he like how did you react? What did you do then? Did you
So
finish
I
watching the movie or like did you
no.
you know I'm,
So I bought my
yeah
kids
because
out
it's a
and
good movie. I hope you finished watching the movie at least,
I
before
already
you.
watched. Yeah, no. I took the kids to the to police station, and I had told him
Okay.
that my husband is missing. And the police said he went by himself. Did he leave it a text? I said, yeah, he leave it. So they said we can't do anything. He went for by his. He's an adult. He left. We cannot do anything.
Right. Right.
So so I came back. I I finished the movie next day though.
Like a champion. Like a
Champion. Yeah.
champion.
So then I
Right. So
called the
then so yeah.
next day I called the agency, the maid agency, and then figured out that she was never came back to them. He was never returned her. I mean, she was there in some hotel where
So
he.
oh damn. This
So
guy. This guy.
so every day when he was going to work, he was not going to work. He was going to meet her. Uh,
Hang on, but didn't people at the office notice that he wasn't coming into work?
and at that time, Corona was starting.
Ah,
So
right. So he took
yeah,
full
it was
advantage of the
entire.
lockdown and stuff like
Yes,
that.
yes, yes,
All
yes.
right.
It was
So
booming.
basically he told you that he told you that he's ending it and he's sending her back, which he didn't do actually. He put her up in a hotel, went to the hotel,
Yes, yes.
spent 3 minutes with her at least every day, and okay, I
Yeah.
think if I'm not mistaken, 3 minutes is how long the iceberg also spent destroying the Titanic.
I don't know. We have to Google
No,
that.
I think it was shorter than 3 minutes.
That.
So So then now you find out that he's in a hotel with her.
Yes. So
What happened then?
then I tried to text him. Then I started my detective phase, and then I looked out his, profile and his computer, and a few
Right.
weird, Google search I found. First, how to make my wife do suicide. Second, how to finger a 22-year-old girl.
What?
What? Fingering for dummies.
So, hang, hang on a second. So first he wanted you to die by suicide, and then immediately start fingering a 22-year-old. Then he's
Yes.
like, hang on a second. I only last 3 minutes in bed. There's no way I can handle this fingering stuff. So let me Google fingering for dummies.
Yes.
Right?
And then,
Like Sam, I don't even think you dodged the proverbial bullet. You dodged a cannon.
yes,
You know what I
exactly.
mean? The kind of medieval weapon
Yeah,
that would leave your entire roof with a big gaping hole, or maybe even burn it down. You
yes,
That's what you dodged. This
yes.
is insanely outrageous. So right, so you
Hmm.
found the searches, but he did not Google how to file for divorce.
No, he didn't. He didn't.
He went the old school true crime story where, you know what, hang on a second, I want to be with this young 22-year-old, so I'm just going to like make my wife kill herself. Like, what? I think he's living his entire life in the hope that one day Anurag Kashyap will give him a call and make like a movie about him, like a true crime
True crime. Yeah.
series, maybe on Netflix, because that's what
Hmm.
this looks like. Okay, so you find all these searches. What's happening? Like, what are you feeling now when you see all this?
I was feeling very sad. It was horrible time of my life, though. But at the same time, I was like, okay, I'm free now. I'm gonna see how 5 minutes last, or maybe more than that.
Right.
So,
More
anyways,
than that.
yeah, I was.
So did you basically then that's when you get okay, time to end the marriage and move on. So you ended it?
I It took me 1 month. I was waiting for 1 month. I was trying to find what he was doing. The Google Map was able to locate me where he is, which hotel he is, where he's going to eat. I was trying to
Right, right, right,
monitor him and day and night. I left my quit my job. I was told them I'm not coming from tomorrow. I was just sitting there and watching the
right.
computer and looking at what he was doing. What I mean, totally insane person. I
Just
don't know
basically
what
gathering all the evidence
gathering.
that you needed to just get him out of your life.
Yeah,
So did you then
yes.
eventually end up doing that? Then a month later, you guys are divorced?
So I went to police. Yes, I filed a complaint, but not on him, but on the maid. So I can't able to say anything bad about my ex at that phase also.
Right. So you took it
And
out on her.
yes, then I went to my parents. I went to my brother and told everything what happened to me. My my parents were not supportive. They were extremely unsupportive of that. But my
In the
brother
sense they
was
weren't
like,
supportive, as in they liked the maid and they were like, listen, but the plates are clean. Why can't you like?
no, they can't believe me. They don't trust me. They said he
They don't
can't do
believe that
that.
all this. Nobody could
Yes,
fathom that something like this could happen, right?
could
But then,
happen.
okay, so just because we need to probably wrap up in a couple of minutes now, so I
Yes.
just want to get to the happy ending, right?
Hmm.
So you went through the whole thing. The family didn't believe you. It took them a while to digest the whole situation. Was the
Exactly.
divorce quick and easy and
Yes.
peaceful?
Yes, it was very quick and easy.
So
It
boom,
was very peaceful and everything
custody.
is
What
fine
did
now.
he ask for custody of the kids as well, like shared custody?
No,
Did he?
no, nothing.
He wasn't
Nothing.
interested in the kids. Maybe he'll
None.
maybe he'll give them a call when they turn 22. Who knows?
No, he called them. He called them every day. They go on summer vacation, staying with them with him. He's in US now, and for
And is
three
Emily
months
with
with
him?
him. Emily is not with him. Emily, I think he came back. His visa was cancelled after a few months, and then
So
she's
their
here. But
story also ended basically.
no, I think they meet now also. I figured out that also my detective skill has figured out
Detective
that they meet
skills.
with
Your
her. Yeah,
you should open your own detective agency now.
of course.
So right, so
Uh,
then you got divorced. He moved to the US. He
yes.
still meets Emily once in a while for 3 minutes, and then he's done. And but have you moved on with your life? Have you found happiness again?
Yeah, I cannot trust anyone after that. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
Healing process was long. 3 years
Mm-hmm.
took me for healing. But when the
Mm-hmm.
bad days was, I was finding some of you like you and started abusing in the internet. That was
Mm-hmm.
my, you know, that phase. And then,
Mm-hmm.
you can understand that what kind of people who give you abuses, right? They are all
Yeah, yeah, yeah. I mean,
maybe
I can. I mean, I
not.
can empathize. I mean, I'm sure like the journey was not easy, but then here you are,
Yes.
all these months or years later, talking about it, laughing about it, and I think that in itself is the biggest victory anybody could have. I think so. If I'm getting this right now, it's you and your kids,
Yes, me and my kids happily living here, very
and
having fun. Yes.
that's the best way to do it. And in the future, in case you do end up finding love again, and you decide to trust somebody again, and then you get married, yeah, you know what's going to happen, right? Like you'll have to
Mm.
be your own maid again. So it's like you're back in Canada, you're just like, I am not taking any chances. Okay, if this guy wants to run off with somebody, it'll have to be me.
Yes.
But Sam, thank you so much for joining me on the podcast. Thank you for sharing such a personal story with me. Thank you for being, really fun about it. Having the ability to sit back and laugh about it. And I'm glad that you're in a much better place today.
Mhm.
And I wish you and your kids all the very best. And hopefully
Thank
we'll
you.
get to meet each other in person one day.
Sure.
Don't bring the
Definitely.
maid.
You don't want it? She's hot. She's still hot.
No, it's okay. I have enough problems in my life as it is. But Sam, this has been an absolute pleasure. Thank you so much for joining me. Please take care of yourself and the kids. Give them all my love. And I hope to see you someday at a show really soon.
Thank you. Bye.
Thank you so much for joining me. Bye bye.
Thanks.